Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about a pretty insane story that has kind of come along today. This is one of those things like you're scrolling through Twitter or you're just like checking TikTok, and this shit just pops up, right? And you see it and it registers in your brain, and you just realize, like, the world around you, how much of an actual, like, game and joke that it can be at some times, right? Because, alright, so obviously watching this video, you see the title. I think we all know who Chris Chan is already, right? If you don't know who Chris Chan is, that's actually surprising to me, considering, you know, Chris Chan is like probably the biggest name in internet history and like the most documented person probably ever online. But there is some new news about Chris Chan. So I think I already covered this in a previous video, but Chris Chan was released, I guess, after the charges of, well, for a lack of better words, sexually assaulting the dementia-ridden mother that Chris Chan lived with. I guess Chris Chan has decided to start streaming, or has always streamed. I don't know. I'm not one of those like level 7,000 fucking Chris Chanologists that know all of the lore all the way down to the last finite detail, but I see a clip on Twitter where Chris Chan is making a massive life announcement, okay? And it's one that I think shocked damn near everybody who saw it. I mean, when it comes to Chris Chan, you can think of some pretty wacko, embarrassing, crazy shit that happened, and it could possibly happen because that's just how this whole thing has gone. But this is one of those headlines I don't think literally anybody would have ever bet on. But anyway,
when the child is actually coming into play, or somewhere around that point, or I just might keep y'all in the dark and let y'all know it wait till after the child is born.
So in this live stream of Chris Chan playing Sonic, they announced that they have gotten their girlfriend pregnant, okay? And that they are expecting to have a child together in summertime, which, I mean, if you do the math, summer is like 7 or 8 months away right now. So, I mean, that if you give the time from like conception to being able to detect the pregnancy to the announcement being made, it kind of makes sense. Like if it's a more recent thing that, yeah, the kid would be coming along in the summer, but it's a pretty insane announcement. Like, it's going viral already online. Like I said, I saw this on Twitter. It was on the trending tab for me. Lots of people are starting to react to this, and I guess there's another interpretation, just in all fairness, where people think that rather than outright announcing that Flutter, which is the girlfriend, right, Chris Chan's girlfriend, rather than announcing that it's an outright pregnancy already and that the baby is like actually on the way, some people think that maybe Chris Chan is basically just like announcing the plans to get pregnant with the girlfriend, right? Like basically the deed is not done, but he's planting to ferment that, if you know what I mean. So honestly, I don't know. Either way, it's a pretty insane thing, and a lot of people are reacting to it. So apparently, at some point, we're going to be seeing a little Chris Chan popping up, and I don't know if it's already clicked in your brain yet. It took a second for it to click for me because of the just absurdity of this entire news story, but I just want to be the one to point out here, if it hasn't clicked yet, that for 95% of us, you watch this video, just everyone in the audience, there is a pretty good chance that yes, it is official. Chris Chan has reproduced before us all, you know what I mean? Just statistically, based on like viewership metrics and whatnot, I'm gonna assume that a pretty good portion of everybody watching this video just got beaten in the biological race to reproduce, to pass on their lineage by fucking Chris Chan. Now, once again, I can't stress how insane this is of a concept, that there will be an entire child that grows up, lives its life, and is parented by fucking Chris Chan. But, I mean, this is the world we're in, man. This is the fucking timeline we've jumped into. Out of all the wormholes we could have went through in space, this is the one we went through, right? Now, this whole thing is confusing because apparently Chris Chan's girlfriend, who goes by Flutter, is like European, basically. Now, obviously, Chris Chan is from Virginia here in the United States, so as I understand, Chris Chan got on a plane, went to the girlfriend, you know, preheated the oven, if you will, and then I guess fucking jumped on the plane back over here to the US and maybe found out or whatever, but I don't think it takes a fucking scientist or a genius to say that maybe Chris Chan isn't the most qualified person to be having a child and parenting them. Now, I will assume that, you know, if the baby comes along and is born, and this is like a real thing that's actually happening like right now, it's already happening basically, I'll assume that the mother will probably be taking care of the child. I mean, Chris Chan, as we know from the 20 years of history or whatever, Chris Chan has a lot of mental issues and is probably entirely incapable of really taking care of themselves, you know? At least like to a degree where they could take care of another human being, a child that's developing and has needs. Now, Chris Chan lived with the mom, right, that, you know, all these charges and whatnot came from for a while, and that was a terrible situation in and of itself. That was like the thing I think that really broke this entire Chris Chan thing, because up until then it was just like this lolcow online or whatever, and then now it's like this really sad, depraved, fucked up thing. And then now that that whole saga is over, now we're talking about, oh, there's a child on the way, or there's like an imminent plan for there to be a child on the way, and I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, I would not envy being that child. Like, I mean, imagine going to school, right, and people at school, they find out that your dad is basically Chris Chan. I don't really think that would go over too great. I mean, you already hear about like kids who their parents are celebrities or like famous in some way, and they get fucking hounded at school all the time, right? But you gotta think, if it turns out that your dad is fucking Chris Chan with all the stuff that's online, man, like that sounds like a brutal day at school. I'm not gonna lie, you know? That sounds like people are gonna be fucking flipping your lunch tray and throwing erasers at you in math class. And then obviously like eventually finding out like all of the shit that happened and whatnot. It just, I don't know, not an enviable position to be in by any stretch of the imagination if this is what's really all going down here, right? But now, obviously, the public reaction to this entire situation has been pretty variable so far. There are people who are wishing the best for the new child whenever it comes along. And I think that realistically, pretty much everybody hopes that the child's okay. I mean, just because like Chris Chan is a fucking depraved, insane figure in the online world, right? That doesn't mean like I inherently hope the child's doing bad. But there are, of course, like a lot of people out there who are like, hey, what the fuck, man? Like, this is the offspring essentially of somebody who's done some pretty fucked up shit. Some people are worried that the child, you know, might be in danger. Now, once again, like, I don't think that Chris Chan is going to be like in the child's like life from the way it sounds so far. Cause like the girlfriend lives in Europe, Chris Chan lives in America. I don't think it's gonna be a situation where like Chris Chan has sole custody of the child and like all of the child's needs and development issues and whatnot are being overseen by fucking Chris Chan, right? But this is one of those things that like makes me think, like, cause you hear about like incels and whatnot online, and it makes me think like, this shit can't be real, right? Because, like, if Chris Chan is capable of getting somebody pregnant and passing on their fucking genetics and, like, they're capable of, once again, winning the biological race and, like, completing the goal, right? Shouldn't damn near anybody be able to at that point, right? Like, Chris Chan is, like, one of the most documented, fucked with people who've ever lived. You would think if, like, anybody on the planet couldn't fucking get to this point in their life, you would think it'd be somebody like this, but this just goes to show, man, there's somebody out there for everybody, right? Like, there's somebody out there willing to put up with damn near anything and, like, be with anybody, right? So, I guess for Chris Chan, this is great news or whatever. I mean, I guess we'll really have to wait and see what exactly is going on. But from the sound of it, man, we won't have to wait too long before Chris Chan is basically the father of a child now. I mean, it's just a crazy announcement in all reality. But anyway, I just wanted to make a quick video talking about this. It's just a pretty fucking insane thing to even be discussing. But anyway, with that being said, thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about Chris Chan having a child and signing out.